Thanks for joining the webinar tonight. My name is Mike Wood, and I am your coach and presenter, and we are going to talk today about the AutoDS settings. And we're going to go through quite a few things here. So let's jump into it and get started. So AutoDS is a fantastic tool that will allow us to automatically post and monitor thousands of listings if we want to. And I've just been getting started on this. And let's see if we can show more details on, there we go. Show some more details for me. Why? Okay, monthly and show details. There we go. So that gives me some pretty good outline. So I had a couple that had to cancel, so that went down a little bit, but I'm pretty happy. Here we are on just the fourth day, and the fourth day, mind you, and we've already almost got a quarter of what I made in all of last month. So things are on the up and up. It's a great tool. So let's talk about why I like AutoDS. If we're going to do dropship, and that's really what this is for, if we're going to do a dropship model, it requires just an immense number of listings to be profitable and to be effective. We've got to get a lot of traffic, meaning we've got to get a lot of products moving through our system, our eBay, so that we have a lot of options for people to buy. Okay, and so that's what this tool does. It takes care of that, all that management for us, so we don't have to worry about it. So we're going to look at getting things set up. In order to set this up, one of the first things we have to make sure of is that we have automatic payments set up on eBay. And so let's go pull open eBay, and we'll get that pulled up so we can look at that. And there are a few settings on eBay that we need to do as well. But in your eBay account, when you start selling, if you started listing, if you've done more than 10 listings, which you should by the time you get looking at a tool like this, then you should have that auto listing tool up there already. That should, I'm sorry, the auto payment listing tool. That's what we're talking about. The auto payment should already be set up if you've listed products on eBay. If you've done listings, then that's something that they require to have set up in order to do that very first listing. And so that is something that should be done. I ran into it with one of my students who hadn't listed recently, and they didn't have an automatic payment, and that's what was keeping them from progressing in AutoDS. So automatic payment option in eBay is crucial. The easiest way to do that is to start selling, and it'll go through and require you to set that up in order for eBay to take your fees. So that should be a no-brainer. Okay. Now, once you get that set up, there are some other settings that we want to do on eBay. We'll go ahead and get signed in to my account there so that we can get those settings looked at. Once you get connected, it says, hey, let's go do your first upload. Go through that, click on far enough to get to that screen where it says, okay, let's start your first upload, and then you'll close. You'll see a little X on that. It'll be a screen in the middle here, and you'll close that little screen, and that'll bring you back to the dashboard here. And then what you're going to do is go set up your settings in here properly. So the first thing we need to do is go to monitors. And so we go into monitors, and monitors has more screens out here in DS. So here's our primary products monitor page, but notice we've got products monitor, orders monitor, profitability monitor, and orders processor. All of those options on this screen, okay? Under the products monitor, we have the general settings, which is what it takes you to initially, and then we have Amazon, Walmart, Banggood, AliExpress, Home, all of these other store settings. We want those all to be set up similar to what we are doing with the basic or general settings, okay? In order to edit any of these, you look for this little pencil icon. right down here at the bottom. Okay, bottom, very bottom of the screen. You can't even scroll down more to get it down there. It's just, that's it right there. Okay, so that's what we've got to use in order to work on our screen. So let's see if I can do an arrow here. So that should put the arrow for you to show you the where that is. Okay, so hopefully that makes it a little more obvious for you. All right. In fact, how about we try this spotlight right there? Okay. All right. So that's how we edit. So we click on that pencil icon, and then we have options here. Now notice down here at the bottom now, we have an X to exit the editing mode, and we have a check mark. So once we've completed it, then we click that check mark. Now, the way I set my settings, and I would suggest that you do something close to this, is I do 25% for my break even, my default break even point. Okay, 25%. So you check that and you put 25%. And then you've got an additional percent here. This is what you want for profit. So I put that at 20%. 45% markup gives me lots of room to be able to make some good money on my items. And I used to think that this was something valuable down there, this minimum profit dollar per product, but it's not. Doesn't do anything. Minimum allowed quantity in stock, I like to put that at 5. Maximum shipping time, I like to set that at 3 days. In some, now that's for Amazon, you know, because it should be same day or second day kind of stuff. If you've got other sites where it's a little bit longer, you might put that at 5 days or something, but we want things that are going to ship fast, right? So those are my general settings. Those are set. We click the check mark. It pops up and says, you want to, you know, are you sure? Yes, change settings. Success. All right, now we want to go to the other stores. Any other stores we're going to use, we need to set the settings for them individually. So you go to Amazon and, oh, look, I've got to set my settings again. So we click on the little pencil, and it doesn't carry these over from the general settings. And so I put that at 25%. I put my additional percentage at 20. Again, this dollar amount profit per product doesn't matter. And then I like to check this box here to round the price to 99 cents. So if the price ends up being just at the 45% markup, if it goes up and it's $123.13, then checking this box is going to bump that 13 up to 0.99, 99 cents. That's going to make you possibly another $1.50 to $1 every sale. If you've got 1,000 sales in the year, there's $1,000 more in your pocket, 500 to 1,000, whatever that addition is. So go ahead and bump it up to that 99 cents. That's worth doing. And then look over on the monitoring validation section over on the right-hand side of the screen there. We'll put an arrow right there so you see that, and then give you a little spotlight. Spotlight, come on, right here. It's not doing it. All right, highlighter, right there, that section. Okay, that's what we're looking at. So hopefully you can see that. And here we want to check the box for Prime. We want to set this to 2 or 3 days. I like at least 3. I don't know how I ended up with that allow suppliers table, but okay, we can leave that. And then first Prime, cheapest. So we can either do the cheapest product or the first Prime. I want to do the first Prime. I only want to deal with Prime items, because if it's not Prime, I've run into problems where they say it's shipped, they mark it as shipped, never give me any updates, and days go by, and that's not the game I'm playing here. I've got to have things shipping fast so that I'm keeping my customers happy, so that I don't have to worry about negative or problems. So I deal only with the Prime fast shipping stuff. All right, so once we set those settings, we come over here and click the check mark. Change settings, yes, success. And there we are, done with those settings. Okay, so now I wish we could get rid of these little marks. I don't know how to remove those arrows there. Erase all drawings. How about that? There we go. All right. And so now we want to look at the next section that we go to, and that's in the monitors section, right? We're still in monitors. Over here, orders monitor. So in the orders monitor, again, scroll down to the bottom, click the little pencil to edit, and it changes to a check mark there. What we want to do here, we'll pull that up and give you some markers again. Let's do an arrow. We're going to do this one right here. So instead of what it defaults to is alert me. So instead of alert me, we put it to raise quantity. When a product is sold, raise the quantity. So this is where we need some settings over on eBay. So in your eBay account, we go to my eBay. We'll go to the summary. There we go, account. So you go into your eBay summary, account, site preferences. That's over here under account preferences. Give you a little arrow on that again to make sure it's obvious. So right over here, and we're going to go to this site preferences section right there. And we're going to click on that, site preferences. And when that opens up, on the next screen, there's a checkbox right here. Show the exact quantity of items in your listing. If the quantity exceeds 10, use the out of stock option. So over here it says, the checkbox is yes, when the quantity of your good till canceled listing reaches 0, the listing remains active but is hidden from your search until you increase the quantity. So we've got to check yes there, click apply, and then that will make this other setting on AutoDS work. So that's right here. We check that to yes, and then click apply, okay? And that's what you've got to do if you want this to raise the quantity. How much do we raise the quantity? 1's enough, so we raise it to 1. So every time something sells, the quantity bumps back up to 1, so it goes back. That's what auto relists your items, okay? All right, and then the next one here, when product is sold, change the price. I've got that checked to yes. Start price, raise after how many are sold. Well, after 1 is sold, we'll raise the price. So raise the price from the first sale, yes. When the product is sold, raise additional percent by. And so this is going to change the percentage. So if my normal percentage is 22, then we're going to bump it up to 20, okay? That's according to their little notes right here. If the item's additional percentage is 10% and you write here 15, the new additional percentage will be 15%. So this is going to be the new. So this is not adding to your 20%. This is changing that to something new. And then they have a maximum percentage raise limit, maximum percentage to go up to 25%. So we don't want to get too crazy. All right, and so the rest of that, that's good. That's all we need there on that settings there. So we go down and click the check mark, change settings, boom, we're done. Then we move on to the profitability monitor. And again, check or click the little pencil icon down at the bottom there. And that will let us edit that. And when listing is not profitable, change that from alert me to end listing. Listing left days, so how many days until it's left. So basically this is a 30-day period with all of your listings. They go every 30 days and then they either renew or fall off. Well, they're only going to fall off if we come in here and tell it to end the listing if we haven't had at least 1 sold. So listing minimum sold quantity, it has to have at least 1 sold in a 30-day period. If it doesn't, check 2 days before that 30-day period. And if we don't have at least 1 sold, regardless of how many watchers or views we have. So put these numbers at 10,000 for both of these. I don't care if we have 9,999 watchers. If it hasn't sold in that month, drop it, dump it, end the listing, okay? So end listing, 2, 1, 10,000, 10,000 on the settings for the profitability monitor. Check mark. Change settings. There we go. All right, now this orders processor, I haven't actually completed the setup on this one. But with this one here, we can go in and actually have them automatically do the orders. I'm going to cover that later because I don't have the details completed on that. So that's one that I'm not going to do at this time. So those are your basic settings. And once you've got all those settings ready, then we can go in and start listing items. So let's go look at that. What does it look like? We go to AutoDS Finder, and we can buy Finder credits right here, by the way, and this is the cheapest place to get the Finder credits, and sometimes they'll give you a deal on that. In fact, if you want a deal, go down here and click on the little conversation stuff, start a new conversation with them, and tell them you'd like a deal on credits, and tell them how many you want to order. Let's say we want to order 5,000 credits for listing. What's the deal they can give us? And they'll give you a deal, and then you can go process the order and they'll discount it for you. So always ask for a deal anytime you're going to upgrade in AutoDS. All right. Now, initially here on my first videos, I had looked at this and I thought, well, gosh, it looks like the best ones to do are these 8 sales in a month. Yeah, it costs more credits, 4 credits for that, 2 credits for the 5 sales in a month, and only 1 credit for 3 sales in a month. So I thought, gee, let's do that. Better chances of selling, right? Wrong. I don't know how they're figuring this, but I haven't seen enough evidence to show me that that's a better way to go. Also, same with the high chance of coupons. I haven't used that too much. That's something I might test a little more in the future. But for now, I would recommend that you just go here, decide how many listings you want to do. I'm going to do 200 tonight, and that's it. You put in the number right here. It moves the slider to that number, and you click upload it. All right, brilliant. And it's going to upload 200 items to my eBay account. I'm done. I don't have to do anything more to get 200 items up there. I let them figure it out. Well, there is one or two more clicks here you'll see in a moment. I let them figure it out. This next page, so now it's moved from the AutoDS Finder down here on the left-hand side to the uploader. Okay, so we're on the uploader now. It's Amazon US going to eBay US, 25% markup or break even, 20% additional on top of that. So you can adjust this here if you wanted to. This is the template I'm using. I do recommend a template. It makes your listings look very, very good, very clean. And then my other policies. The biggest one here is over here on shipping policy. If you don't want to get errors, let me give you a little arrow there and make sure you're seeing that on this shipping policy. If you don't want to get errors about zip code not being right or anything like that, then this is often defaulting to calculated. Change it to flat, flat shipping, first class, or priority, free. So that's what we want, is flat and free. That's what, and 1 business day is fine. That works well as long as you're on top of this to process the orders, or if you have them automatically processing. And that's all I look at on this screen, is to make sure that shipping policy is where I want it, and that's it. Again, keep it simple, all right? Don't mess with any of these other things. We don't have to change any of this. We do want that payment policy to be PayPal immediate pay. Returns accepted, yeah, sure, whatever. I've got that at 14 days. Don't worry about anything here. Don't worry about, well, what do I do if they want to return it? I've never had anybody return a product from the AutoDS. Never had that happen. It's unlikely it's going to happen. If it does, we'll deal with it then. Don't get paralyzed by the worries of what if, okay? Don't do the what if bad game. What if good? What if I do this and I put it in and I don't worry and I make lots of money? How about that what if, right? Upload products. Are you sure? Yes, I am. Upload products. There, now I'm done. 200 products go into my eBay. I don't have to do anything else. I can walk away from this after these few minutes of completing this, and I've got 200 more products going into my eBay account. Okay. Now, the other side of this is if we're going to use the AutoDS, we must make sure that we're using a eBay store that will save us on fees. So we go to stores.ebay.com, open a store. Going too fast there, I'm sure, for some of you. So let's go show that arrow over here on the left side. Open a store. Okay. That's where we're going to go next. We click on that. Okay, and then we, whoops, go back to my pointer. We click on that, and that brings us to the stores. We got Starter, Basic, and Premium, Anchor, and Enterprise. We'll grow to whatever we need to. By the time, this is beautiful, guys. If we're spending $3,000 a month on fees, that's because our business has grown to the point where it can pay for that. So don't be afraid of big numbers. If you want to make thousands of dollars a month, you're going to have to spend thousands of dollars a month. All right, so right now I'm on the Premium store. The Premium store, you can see the difference between these here. The Premium store, get my highlighter right here. Premium store is $60 a month. Now this is something I was unclear about a little while ago as well, that hopefully I can clarify. But it's not, if you do a yearly subscription, you're not paying for the year all at once. That is still only coming out monthly, but you are subscribing, or you're basically contracting that you're going to keep this level for the whole year. Let it grow. Start with the Starter store once you hit 100 products, or actually before you hit 100 products, so that you're saving money. Then bump up to the Basic store, 250 products. When you get to 400 products, you're spending this much anyway each month. Bump up to the Premium store. You don't need to bump up to the Anchor store, the $300 store, until you've got about 4,000 items listed. So just pay attention to your invoice to see those increases there, and that's when you know where you need to bump up. It might be 35, somewhere between 3,500 to 4,000 before you have to bump up to that. Okay. So I've got 2 accounts on this store right here on the Premium level, paying $60 a month, and I'm profitable. All right, because of this AutoDS. So it's wonderful. I love it. It's a great thing to do, but you want to make sure that you've got your store there. The great thing about the Premium store is 10 cents per listing instead of 25 cents or 30 or 35 cents. So only 10 cents additional, or 10 cents listing fee after you go over that 1,000 items. That's why you can do so many thousands of items before you need to upgrade. And when you upgrade there, even fewer or lower on the cost. So great options there to help you as you're getting things going. I would highly recommend getting that set up. Make sure you're doing the store, because otherwise you're going to be spending a lot more money. Okay. All right, I'm just going to quickly show you, well, I already showed you the dashboard that I'm profitable there. That's wonderful. That's what I want to see. But orders, we're not going to go through all those details here, but I'll quickly touch on it. When you do get an order, you'll have a source item ID right here, source item ID, and a link to click on. So you can click that link and it'll pull up the item you sold. So you don't even have to worry about, finding the item or where it, what is it? It's all right here. I mean, look at that. I made $61 on that item, 14 on that one, 23 on that. There's some great potential here, and people are happy to pay for it and happy when they get their products. Okay, so processing an order is pretty straightforward. I will give you one little tip there, and I'm going to do another webinar maybe next week on this. There is a Chrome extension, an AutoDS helper extension that you can install, so that when you change the status over here to shipped, for example, it gives you this option to copy with phone number, and you save the changes and confirm, and it's copied that to your clipboard. So now I go to Amazon and click on the new add new address button, and there's a paste option right there, and I just click paste, and boom, the address, the entire address is in there. So the AutoDS helper plugin is very helpful. I'll go through that in another webinar. So I thank you all for joining today. This is a great tool. If you're not using it, get on it. It's a fantastic way to really grow your business. If you're doing dropship, you need to have automated tools like this so that you can grow to the thousands of products you need, so that you can make the thousands of dollars that you want to make. So I thank you all for joining. Have a great night.